Alright, this is the final day of the Fallout 76 beta, so I am jumping back in here for a little while anyway. Just to sort of do an additional video on it. Not that I think the beta videos matter much since the game is going to be out, but I'll probably put this out about halfway from today, the 8th, and when the game actually releases, and that way you have something in between just to get an idea. I have only played, compared to the beta times have been interesting because they have been staggered. So a lot of people have complained about it. I understand why Bethesda did it. I think that they really probably should have made it more clear to people. I don't think it matters because basically if you pre-order the game, you get the beta, so it's not like they were withholding anything. But it certainly isn't like a normal beta in that way. So, you know. It's just checkpointed. My launch. What did it say? Let's see what that stupid little thing just said. Huh. I did not see what that said. Something about my beta. I found one of the launch codes, and it said something about that, but I don't know what exactly it was saying. That's interesting. So anyway, the vault. Why is that red? Huh. Oh, wanted. Oh God. Oh, I'm not going after somebody. Not going after somebody with a price on his head. That's all I'm saying. So I understand why people are kind of not thrilled about the way that it was done. I think they were, I think they were lying necessarily, but it is certainly different than normal beta. So I get it. I understand that, that sort of, what's the word for it? The discontent among the beta testers. One thing that I'm kind of... Hulk Krogan, that's great. One thing that I'm kind of curious about with this is... What's the word for it? If in fact we're carrying over our progress, which I think it says we are. I thought that's the last thing that I was aware of, that we were carrying over progress. If we're doing that, I will be curious to see what that does for... let's say there's people who have been in the beta and been playing almost every day and leveling themselves up, and then suddenly they have a large group of friends that show up that haven't been playing the beta. It's going to be interesting to see how quest balance is handled there, because obviously if you're level, 20, and 3 of your friends just started out and they're level, level 1s, then you have to redo a lot of lower level quests. And if the enemies are going to scale, how is the scaling going to take that into consideration? Is there something hunting me? It sounds like there is. Hold on. Looking around. I don't know that it's... Again, none of the things that I've seen brought up, none of the complaints or, disgruntlement, I don't know if that's a word, that I've heard expressed over it, nothing seems like it's really a deal breaker type of thing. But it is interesting to think about how this will impact the game post-launch. Because I thought, I could be wrong now, because I'm not going to pretend I read every single bit of news and, paid attention to every single thing there was. Who was shooting me? Somebody was shooting at me. But I had thought initially... And that's coming from behind me, I think. No, it isn't. Oh, where's that coming from? I had thought there was a... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, where's the person? Where are you? That's not... Aha! Gotcha. I mean, I can see you, but clearly haven't gotten you because my aiming abilities on a console are limited. Damn it. There we go! Nicely done. Thank you, Ryan. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Pay attention to my life here. Jeez, I am the... Whatever the opposite of a crack shot is, that's me. Okay, except for right there. Oh, another guy, huh? Yeah? Aw. Don't run. Why do you run? Why do you do it? Why do you run? Ah, I got you in the shoulder, I think. There's another one. Wait! Yes! So, initially I had thought Bethesda said that your progress wouldn't carry over, which makes sense, because that stops you from, dropping into a world with a bunch of people who are 14 levels. Who is shooting at me? Where's the... Oh, jeez, you're all the way over there? I was going to say, I don't even know if I can hit you with it. I'm not the guy's in range. Obviously he is. So it's going to be interesting to see what that impact that has, because, I I don't know, rerunning a bunch of missions that are extremely low level, if in fact the enemies rebalance for the levels that they are being, that you present to them, how does that handle something where there's a huge difference in levels? You have, let's say, one person that's a 1, or let's say 3 people, and one person who's a 20. Well, obviously you can't realistically split the difference. I mean, because the levels are so all over the place, but there again, the level 20 is going to have a massive advantage if they scale the level to 5. So you would just have somebody who was basically cakewalking through the game, while a bunch of other people are, not at that level. I'm not sure. I don't know how they handle something like that. That's why the idea that they were going to wipe all the beta stuff out initially made complete sense to me, because how else do you handle something like this? You're going to end up with these fractured levels. Maybe it won't make a difference. I don't know. I'm not saying, again, none of this is game-breaking. I think the thing to me that is the most concerning about this game is that it still, to me, is not clear. And what's really funny is Bethesda's own statements I find to be hilarious, because they basically don't seem to be saying they know what this game is either. It's almost just an experiment that they decided to release. Now, again, not a big deal to me. That's fine. Do stuff to have fun with it. And I don't think the game is going to, quote-unquote, fail. There's a lot of these negative, YouTube videos. Oh, it's horrific. Oh, it's terrible. And I think a lot of those are really based around, ooh, a 3-piece suit. I will take a 3-piece suit. I've found a lot of clothing in this game, I have to say. As far as wardrobe, I am... Oh, okay, it's working again. The third person wasn't working for me the other day. I really don't know why. That's just how it was. Let's see. Go to items. What apparel? What am I wearing? I don't even know what I'm wearing right now. Oh, this is the greaser. That's the greaser jacket? That's what it looks like? I can't really see what I look like. Yeah, whatever. I'll trust that it looks like a leather jacket. So a lot of these people are, they're jumping up and down all over the place about, oh, there's the wood, oh, it's... and don't get me wrong. I'm not being some kind of defender of Bethesda saying that this game even makes sense, honestly. I still am sort of mystified by the fact that this game is missing one of the... Whoa, that was interesting. One of the key things that's always been, to me, a fundamental part of Fallout, which is the NPCs. They're all non-humans now, and one of the things that, and a number of different articles have pointed this out, that they're sort of struggling with the emptiness of this world. And that's, I've definitely noticed that. I don't think it's a huge deal, but, when you're here and there's no one here, no friends, some people I know online, but I've been trying not to intrude on people's games, because most of the people I know, they want to solo this game. I almost do want to talk to some... Oh, I don't know oh yeah, my thirst level's low. What? I don't know what that means. Is that a favorite? I do want to talk to some of them about the idea of if you're soloing this game, how has that been? Because it does seem like a very empty world compared to other Fallouts. The other Fallout, it was always little things. It was never one specific thing, but you'd be wandering around. Especially, I always remember in, I think New Vegas had it too, where they would have the scavengers that would just be wandering with their Brahmins, and you would just randomly see somebody in the distance, and there was a moment where you didn't know if it was friend or foe, and you sort of armed up and got ready, and then you saw the Brahmin, and you pretty much knew what you were dealing with. And so that, even though those were not human beings, and I understand that there's a social component, and that's sort of what I think Bethesda is counting on to fill the void. That's one of the things where they were saying they don't want to add push to talk to the game initially, because they want to encourage the social component. And that's, I get the logic of that to a degree, but that also makes a lot of assumptions about the player. And if you're going to say that this game will function both as a multiplayer experience and a solo player experience, to... Uh-oh. That's a robot. That's a robot. That's a...
Oh,
yeah.
hello! I'm so glad
Oh,
you're
yeah,
there.
I'm not bothering with
My
that.
stable coil
And that's
around
another thing that's going to be interesting, is how the events play out. But if you're going to have a game that serves two masters, which is the solo experience, where you do not interact with other people in any way, And the multiplayer experience, which of course would naturally be dependent on people. How do you handle that if you're... I mean, that almost looks like Helvetica. That's kind of funny. I wonder, is that supposed to be a play on Helvetica, the font? Because that is, I have to admit, kind of amusing. You can't say, we've made this game to be whatever you want, and then have the other response be, but we're going to encourage, their word, social interaction by not allowing you to necessarily use your mic the way you want to. That's a sort of a weird statement. But again, it feeds into what I think is the larger... And again, I'm not saying problem. I don't want to say problem, because I know a number of people who are really enjoying this game, and I'm not going to say I'm not enjoying it, but I am finding it to be a weird... I don't know that I would call this... It's Fallout because it looks like Fallout, but does this feel like Fallout to me, the games that I've played before? I don't know. Because some of what was great about Fallout was the quirkiness of it. And that's somewhat missing, because none of the... I mean, some of the robots, the one set of robots I encountered were funny. But a lot of these are just pure enemies. And so, okay, that's fine. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that, but... It does change the dynamic of the game. Some of the humor and the silliness, in fact, most of the humor and the silliness that I'm used to, is not present. God, this guy's gonna have... These people are supposed to be doing something here? I don't know if this is part of the quest or not now. Oh, well, I shot a body. I guess that counts for something. Yeah, I'm just gonna get the hell out of the way here. Of course... Oh, jeez, really? So much for that. Oh, at least I got him. So I don't... Oh, nice. Chemistry set. There's a lot of radiation here. Well, there's not a lot, but there's some. So it's an interesting experience. One that I'm certainly going to play it once it releases. My one complaint about the beta thing has been that the times have been so all over... Where am I being shot from? I mean, really? Just use a stim pack already. It's annoying me. So the beta staggering thing has been problematic that way. What are these glowing things? Are these supposed to be something? Voter services terminal. Oh, interesting. Well, okay. Get out, because I'm going to get shot now. Hey! Is he stuck? What's going on here? How are we not hitting him? Okay, I hit that one. Jeez. So that has limited how much I've played the beta. And honestly, one thing that I have gotten with this game, which I never used to really, not this means anything, but I've found myself kind of not wanting to play it for long. And I think some of that is that loneliness thing, the idea that there's really no interactions if you don't have other people. Because again, it's all, you talk to robots, and that's fine and all, but it doesn't feel quite the same. So, I don't know about this one. I don't know. It's going to be certainly very interesting to see how this plays out once it, more people are playing it. Because, E-piles are disturbing. Because there is something missing about it. Maybe missing is the wrong word for it. But there's certainly something different in how empty this game feels. A lot of people have been complaining about the stash thing. They're gonna, I think they're gonna address that in some way. I think they're gonna have to, of course, expand it, which they've already sort of acknowledged they'll have to. Ooh, right-of-way. Wow, pure right-of-way. That's rare. Oh, nice. Oh, this thing is open. Okay. Ooh, more right-of-way. Jeez. Boy, I stumbled into a good area. Normally, there's not as much right-of-way just laying around. Well, I guess this must be a pharmacy or something. I didn't really look at what the building was. What is that? Oh, Mothman poster. Sort of unusual. This game has less of the iconography that I usually like out of Bethesda, which is all weird little pamphlets and notices and that type of thing. I have not seen so much of that. Ooh, sweet roll. Well, that's good to eat, I'm sure. Eat it now before it goes bad. There we go. Again, this is milk vending machine. Well, there's no milk in it, apparently. All these things are... I really even shouldn't even call them complaints, because, a game like this is very subjective. Some people are not going to really care about any of this type of thing. And it's certainly, again, not making me go, oh, I don't think I'm going to play this game. I am going to play it. But there is a much different feeling in it than there used to be. Oh, I always hate seeing it at the doghouse. Because that probably means there's a dog that died there. I know it's a video game. I know it's just me. So I don't know what the reaction's going to. That's a weird looking robot suit. It's very shiny. Turpentine. Turpentine and duct tape. You always need those. That's one of those sort of you just grab it no matter what type of things. Crystal. Well, I would assume I'll get crystals from that. Hey, look at that. Hey, let's scrap some junk. I read an interesting thing that said you should scrap everything that you're not actually immediately using, and there is something to that, I have to say. Pipe revolver. I mean, I'm not going to do that necessarily, but I'm not a machine gun guy. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Okay, let's go back, and let's see if I can modify anything I've got. I doubt I can craft anything superior here, but let's see. The 10mm. There's somebody here. I heard them. Where are you? No. Well, whoever it is, am I hidden? No, I'm on a caution. So I'm just waiting to get attacked now. Okay, no, I'm back to hidden. Alright, so let's go back to this. Let's see. Crafting, as I've said. Oh, now I've got a pretty good look at that. Yeah, that greaser suit's alright. You know, I've said before, I'm not the biggest on the stabilized long barrel. This gun has been pretty good to me, but I don't... You know what? You're only as good as your weapon. So let's... Oh man, this thing is almost hosed though. And I can't repair it yet, so I'd better focus on something that I can use. Whoa! Whoa! A lot of what do you call it just happened right there. Laser pistol. 44 cells. I do like lasers. Let's say. Yeah, let's go ahead and repair that. Let's see. Hair trigger capacitor, standard capacitor. What is the major difference? Trying to see what the stats are. The fire rate is higher. The accuracy is barely less, so I don't need to change that. Standard grip, standard sights. Apparently I can't change anything else. Okay. Well, you know. Fine. Let's go ahead and scrap this rifle, because I've already got the other one. I should fix this thing. What do I need to repair for? Attack research. I need... Oh, aluminum? That's it? God, I thought I just had aluminum. Do I really not have aluminum? I could have sworn I had some. I guess not. It's not here. Okay, fine. There's no aluminum laying around, I assume. Barbed walking cane mod. Okay, I'll take it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'll take it. Scalpel. Oh, nice. Let's play that. Let's see what it says.
I will make the requested updates to the Protectorats. The robots will now decide on their own how often we celebrate Fashnacht. Jensen is aware of my concerns about frequency and the unpredictable environmental factors. Jensen says it will be better for tourists. Just don't come to me if the robots choose to have a party every single day until the end of the world.
Okay. I will not... Oh. What? Where? Oh. Sound like somebody... Geez, sound like there was somebody right on top of me a second ago. Okay, that was something about parties with robots. I didn't really follow it, but alright, sure. Event. Where? I'm hearing somebody running around. Where are they? I know they're... What? Where? There have been reports about audio issues, which I have not had some of the ones that people have talked about, which is the loud gunshot stuff. I have heard, like, women screaming at times, excessively, you know... Oh, there's somebody. Where are you? Okay, oh, there you go. Let's go. How about that one? Yeah. How's that barrel doing, buddy? Even though did I just break it? I just broke it. Well, looks like it's a fist fight with this guy. We'll see if I survive. Why can't I punch him? Oh, trying. Okay, there we go. So, oh, jeez. Really? Ay, ay, ay. Oh, great. This is like a super person. Alright, I'm going up. I need some kind of weapon, but I don't know. The game doesn't stop. It's just one crap. Damn it. One crappy thing about the game not stopping is it doesn't give me any time to arm anything. Let's try the 10 minutes. Who's that? Okay, that's nice. I'll admit. That was pretty great. Somebody else? Jeez. Well, at least I got the 10mm, although I think this thing's almost broken too, so I don't know how much longer I'll be able to use this. Sure. You've got to hunt it. Well, spiked baseball bat, I might as well take it. Yeah, we're good on that. Okay. Let's go up here. I got 130 rounds, so at least I've got a lot of rounds. So since I've got a second where nobody seems to be attacking me, amazingly, we're going to go ahead and rest. Because I don't know how many stim packs I've got. I mean, woo. I may not even have that many. So, jeez, what am I wearing? I don't know what that says. Oh, yeah, I don't mind that. That's not a bad outfit. I'm okay with that. Yeah, and of course, since this is real time, if you choose to recuperate this way, you're going to spend a lot of time looking at your own ass. So, just be aware of that. You know, and I don't... It will be interesting to see if the enemies... I mean, I haven't had a... I haven't not had a... what's the word for it? I haven't had it happen where, while I'm sleeping, I suddenly get assaulted. So, now maybe I've just been smart in clearing out the areas enough. Or lucky, I shouldn't even say smart. That sort of assumes a few things that aren't very true. I've been fortunate enough to have cleared out the areas where nobody has attacked me while I'm sleeping. So, you know, that's great. Yeah, I'm still, I will be very, very, I mean, there's a lot of, like I said earlier, the complaints about the beta, I sort of write a lot of those off because, number one, it is a beta that has not been running all the time. So, you haven't been able to really, I mean, the bugs and the weirdness that I've seen does not seem to have any relation on how long the beta has been running. Because some things got better, some things got worse every time the beta periods came and went. So I don't even know how... Okay, I think I'm full of health now. I don't even know how to judge the work that they're doing. Either they're addressing bugs that are so serious that I haven't seen them, or, you know, the beta stuff is more of they're not... I mean, because they did say that they... I'll take that. They have fixed some things according to their notes. But the... Ooh, loose springs. From what... A clown outfit? Well, I'll take it. I'm not going to use it, but if somebody wants it, they can have it. The reflection of their fixes in the games that I've played, and I'll admit, I have not run into any what I would consider humongous bugs, and I have not played every single minute of the beta from beginning to end to do, like, heavyweight comparisons. I'm just not, you know, I don't care that much. There's plenty of YouTube channels that have exhaustively cataloged every little thing about this beta in the game. I'm not doing that. This is more of, I'm recording this because it's easy for me to record it while I'm playing. But I don't really, you know, I'm not interested in checking every single version of every single thing and saying they did fix this or didn't fix this. That's sort of, you know, beyond my caring, frankly. But the gameplay experience has still largely been very stable. Just to give you an overall, it has not been a train wreck of a game. I know there were a bunch of problems with the PC, which I think those have been mostly fixed, but I know there were problems. I did not have those. Oh, you know what? Where was that? Was I able to repair the 10mm? Let's see what condition this thing is in while I'm thinking about it. So I wasn't experiencing the level of problems that some people have. So obviously when you are... I can't repair it. What do I need to repair it? Oh, that's the thing I need for aluminum. Well, I guess I'll tag it for search. I had read something about how to find... Oh, you know what? Let me scrap my stuff. Sorry, I'm sort of thinking out loud here. So, as far as how much work and what they're doing, I mean, I don't doubt that they're doing work. I'm sure they are. As far as how much that's... Let's just see if I can repair anything. as far as how much that work is reflected in the game as I have seen it, I haven't seen it. And that's interesting. That's probably a better bat than this one. Spike damage 42. I mean, I don't really like melee, but okay, yeah, I'm going to scrap this. Just so that I can go ahead and repair that. Because, you know what? The way my luck is going with guns, I'd better have something ready. Okay, we're good. Yeah, so the repairs, the things that they've been adjusting and fixing, they've said the reason that the beta is ending today, that this is the end of it, is because they need the time to do the scrubbing on it. So my guess would be, I mean, this just sort of makes sense if you think about it logically, is that they've been busy correcting the major bugs, the stuff that would stop people from logging in, the stuff that is making people, I've read some stuff and seen some stuff about people having problems with connecting with other people as far as friends lists and all the rest of it. Again, I have not had those problems, so they're probably prioritizing those things, stuff that will actually break major parts of the game. Where are they shooting from? I don't see the person. Or I guess it's not a person. I do not see my assailant. There's somebody. Oh, there's a couple of them. Alright. Oh, lucked out there. Where's the other one? What is he running around? Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, great. Two of you. Oh, sensational. Okay, that one's down. Okay, that one's down. And with ammo, the way ammo is in here, man, I feel every miss. Because ammo has been... Oh, sure, it's all for the shotgun, which I don't even think I have a shotgun at this moment. It's been very, very few and far between. I know you can craft ammo, but with... dead person. That's when you see other people, when they're dead. What was I getting at? Yeah, the ammo has been... I haven't really crafted much of my own ammo because those stations... Oh, this is something neat. I will say this. The idea that you can boil the water to drink it, because this is obviously... There are survival elements in this thing. So it's every 2 of the dirty water gets you... Oh, it just lets you spam the button. That's hysterical. Am I actually collecting this much water, or is it just making noise? I'll have to check. Hold on, let's see. Because the rads aren't going up that fast, so my guess is that I'm not actually collecting as much water as it sounds like I am. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, so it's just, you can just spam the button, but it doesn't actually do anything. 8, 9, 10. Maybe. Let's see. Do I actually have 10 or do I have 9? I have 9. One more. Okay, there it is. That's a very smart way to do survival for this. The idea that you just find a little cooking station, you can boil the water. Because, boy, I was getting dehydrated all the time. And then I figured that part out, which maybe the game tells you. I have to admit, I'm not probably playing this quite how Bethesda would like me to, as far as doing the things that are tutorial-based. I'm just sort of, you know, doing whatever. Is that a Brahmin? Sure is. I don't know if the hide of it? Something hit me. It's one of those stupid flies. Okay, I don't know why there's a blood splatter on my screen. This is just from running across the Brahmin. So, some of the stuff I've just kind of discovered, you know, that makes logical sense. But I'll say, it made logical sense. Once I saw the little thing for boiled water, I kind of put 2 and 2 together, got 22, and said, oh, that's got to be for the dirty water to be less toxic. That's great. The fact that I was able to figure it out when I'll freely admit that I am not the, you know, the guy you're going to for your crafting ability. I'm not. That all is fantastic. That it's logical enough that that works. So there's little things where I'm like, okay, yeah, this is. They're doing some smart. There's some stuff here that you will figure out, even if you're not going to, as I said, follow the way Bethesda. Am I over my weight limit here? I probably am. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. You know, if I'm not following exactly the way, because I think they want you to, I would guess, do the overseer stuff for a certain amount of time, and that will give you all the kind of core elements. That's just a theory. Oh, I got a radio signal. Oh, top of the world thing. I don't think that's a requirement, obviously, but probably that would help people who are newer to it, or just need a refresher course on it. Or coming from a different platform entirely and don't know where the buttons are and constantly keep opening up the friggin' Pip-Boy for no reason. Like me. So yeah, it's... Oh, I thought that was... What is that? I can gather log. Oh, for wood. Okay, got it. So there's wood scraps. Oh, that's... I don't think I've run across where I could just gather a random piece of wood before, so that's neat. Yeah. In summary, I am enjoying this. It was a very rough first play for me. I had to adjust to so many things, and that sort of colored my first experience. But that said, I was never not going to stick with it because, whoa, what is all this stuff? Whoop. Oh, okay, I made it. You know, it's Fallout, and I'm sort of in for Fallout no matter what. Water, that's great. Okay, yes, I hear you people around. I know you're here. This will probably be about the... What does that say? Oh, circuits! Oh, yeah, I'll take it circuits. Oh, it's citrus. I was going to say, why is there citrus in there?
Getting hungry.
Oh, super... Oh, super mutants. I don't know how effective this pistol is going to be against super mutants. They tend to be large-ish. I was going to say this is probably going to be about where my video ends, and that may be true in more ways than I planned. I may have been fortunate to have some elevation on these guys. I am. Okay. Well, fortunately, or maybe, I was going to say, I don't know if they have a direct path to get up here. I better switch to something more heavy than this. Because I think these guys are going to be, Oh, that guy sounds close. He is! Okay. I have not used this weapon very much. But oh, am I phasing through the thing? Oh, there he is. I'm using it now because I'm not screwing around with super mutants. I am not. Is there another guy there? There sure is. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want anybody getting a drop on me. They already are. Oh, man, was that a grenade? Damn it, I keep thinking that's duck. It's not. Oh! I'm just gonna give up. Why would I call for help? What's the point? I'll just respawn right here. So I'll try to wipe these guys out, and that will be the conclusion of my video. I don't like to end in the middle of action. Plus, I have to go get my stuff. Because I know some of it, if somebody... I think it stays there until somebody else grabs it. I think. I think that's how it works. Okay, back up. Of course, they didn't put me exactly where I was before, so I'm at a bit of a disadvantage here. I haven't used VATS in this game barely at all. I think I did it once just to see how it worked. Oh, come on, really? You couldn't just reload it for me? Oh, what happened? Oh. Tell me it broke. Okay. I have one round left. That's sort of convenient for the game. Okay, I'll take the Molotov cocktail. We'll take it all, I guess. I don't know who's shooting at me, but they're doing a good job of it. Because I'm getting shot up. Oh, that's where it's coming from. Oh, there's those stairs. I didn't see those. Well, we'll see how I do here. I don't know where the person is yet. I'm just sort of moving. Oh, there he is. Okay, there's... Nope. This is just going to be a cycle of respawning, I can see. Whatever, I'll win through attrition, so that's okay. Eventually, I will win. That's sort of what these games end up sometimes, is you just kind of go, okay, well, eventually I'm going to win. Eventually I will, just because the game allows me to keep coming back, I will eventually win. Not necessarily the most immersive and realistic way that a game can be played, but whatever, it's the way it is. So up the stairs we go. Up the stairs we go. I don't really think I'll have much to collect from my former self, but I'll grab it. Sure, take it all. What there was to take. Alright, let's see. Oh, I hear something. Who's shooting? Oh, two of them. That's good. What the hell was... Oh, there's somebody up there, too. Do I even have it? Oh, I do! I have a stim pack. Alright. I don't know whether I should have really used that or not, though. I should just stay. Unbelievable! Come on! Jeez. I'm trying. Reload. Because it's going to run out right when I need it. You know that. Okay, then. Do I have any more stim packs? I certainly don't. I might as well reload. Whatever. If I die, it's fine. Well, let's see. Do I have anything useful? Oh, I don't know. Anything I can actually eat here? Quantum? I'll drink it. Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't realize that was that much. Okay. Wow, there's a whole bunch of these guys, huh? Yeah, I know I'm hurt. What do you want from me? Getting shot up. Why did it not reload? Like it matters. Really? Whatever. We'll just do it again. Not the most fun thing in the world, but that's how it goes. I mean, I don't want to lose all the stuff that I've got on the top level, so I have to kill all these guys to keep going to get up to the top level. That's basically what's going to happen here. So I'm going to be doing this over and over until I can go up to the top level. All right, reload, 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 because this thing just has a tendency to... Why you wouldn't just have... I mean, I get it, it's... Well, I was going to say it's more realistic, but come on, let's be honest now. Realism is not a play here. Why it wouldn't just reload for you when you respawn, just as sort of a courtesy, knowing that you just got your rear end handed to you. You know, come on. You can give me a little bit of a hand here. Hold down the damn trigger. They shoot me, they shoot me. What's the difference? I already died about 90 times. Just one more time. Ah, what do you know, I died. This is why I put a lot of my stuff into storage before I restarted. So, no big deal. But yeah, this is probably the 4th time I've ended up in a scenario like this, where I'm just kind of dying over and over and over until I eventually whittle down the enemies to where I need them. Or not, excuse me, need them, but where I can overcome them. So, not really that exciting, I have to say. This certainly, and again, is not an uncommon thing in games like this. So, it's not what I would call the most fun way to play a game, but it becomes necessary. Whittle down. I got him. Okay, now stay out of the way. And I've reloaded. So let's see if anybody else. Okay. And I'm trying to sort of aim at the head. Okay, got that guy. Alright, this guy's going to kill me momentarily. Might as well grab my stuff, though. Got it! Aha! Excellent!
Angry.
I don't know where he is. Dead? That's a grenade. That was pretty funny, I have to admit. It bounced off. And down. Respawn. Respawn again. But at least I grabbed that one bag, so there's not a ton of bags. But going, why are there 4 million lunch bags sitting around here? It's because I'm dying over and over and over. So, you know, that's what it is. Okay, here we go again. Let's reload. Now, my next problem, of course, is I'm going to run out of bullets. But that is honestly, at this point, a minor issue compared to the overwhelming force that I am up against. So, I'll worry about the bullet count later. For now, let's see if I can just survive. The goal is, honestly, just to take down 1 super mutant per death. If I can do that, I am doing something. That's really what I'm just going for now. 1 super mutant per life is good. Wow, that guy is loaded with power. And I'm going to run out of bullets. No, I'll fire until I'm out. I'm out. Alright, let's see. What's my next weapon? What can I use? Oh, yeah, might as well use a Molotov cocktail. You know what? It's about time. Let's start out with the laser weapons. That doesn't work. Oh, okay. That's hurting him a little bit. Take the loose screws. Thank you very much. Did he die? You know what? Hey, that did it. I mean, that did enough. So my goal of 1 per life has been reached. Now there's another guy, isn't there? Is there not? Did I get them all finally? Oh, there's somebody else. Oh! Okay. Wow. Well, there's a reason I always love laser weapons, and I guess that's why. Molotov cocktail. I will absolutely take that. Gunpowder. I will absolutely take that. Jeez, man. The gunpowder is vital for making your ammo. Well, I guess I finally cleared this nest out. Jeez. Oh, is that the Wouldn't It Be Nice song playing? That's hilarious. Let's see. I'll take the typewriter. At some point, I'll be... Oh, my stuff. Let's see. Pack of cigarettes. Sure. Okay. Well, either his stuff is just too high level for me. I don't know why nothing's showing up, but I gotta go get my stuff before I log out of here. What's that? Oh, no, it's not. That was a potty. It's just stuff. Okay. So anyway, so I'm gonna trot on up the hill here. And I hope my previous death stuff is here. I don't even know. More money. It's always pre-war money. There's always plenty of that. Oh, so these were like, this is like a little settlement, huh? Anyway, this is, actually, I think this was a pretty... Oh, chimes! Oh, I can take those! I will take them. I like those. I like wind chimes. Ooh, nice! This is... I can show you the water thing. Might as well, I'm right here. So this is how you make boiled water. So basically just keep combining these elements, which I have plenty of wood, to dirty water, and that gives me the water to be able to not, what do you call it? God damn it, what is it called? Not dehydrate. There we go. Let's eat some food. I'll tell you, so far the dog food has been the best thing in this freaking game. As far as, you know, stuff that I can consume reasonably. Is my stuff... Where's the fuselage? Oh, this other guy. Well, that's okay. Believe it or not, I'm okay with that. Where's that guy? Oh, here he is. You know what? I really am just ready to be done with this. Okay, let's do the lockpicking here. Man, this is... By the way, lockpicking is one of those things where I really miss the PC, because the precision of the PC makes lockpicking a hell of a lot easier than this does. Gunpowder, I will take that absolutely. Cafe tray, I don't know if that's going... Ooh, I saw purified water. Horizon's Rest Armory, hey! Right. Purified water, very nice. Of course, I just drank the other water, but that's okay. Still. Lockpicking is its own reward. Let's see, he's got something. Bottle cap, rounds, Molotov cocktail, which so far has been great. Skull eye socket? Okay. The skulls, I don't know what their collectability is, but there seems to be something with them. Let's see if my stuff is still in here. It was in here that I was having a firefight, wasn't it? It was on the second level. Radex and water, I will take them. Yeah, this is where I was. Is my stuff still up here, or is it gone? Oh no, this... Is this where I was? Yeah, it was. No, because I came down here. Wasn't it? Is this a different fuselage? Hold on, maybe this isn't it. There was a plane that I was in, and I was fighting people. This doesn't seem to be it. Is this not it? Hold on, I'll know from the top, I think. Let's see. Was this the one that I was in, or is there another one? No, I think this was it. But my stuff seems to be gone. Oh, I guess I lost my stuff. Although I thought I was... Ah, I was back here. Okay. I'll take that. I'll take that. Is my stuff still here, or did I lose it? Oh, I guess it's gone. I guess when you die again, that's it. That's okay. I mean, I seem to have everything vital that I had before, so it's not a tremendously big deal. Anyway, this is probably a good place to end this, because if any more super mutants find me, there's a good chance I'm a dead man, so... Yeah, this is the last day of the beta. You know, I said I was going to post this probably closer to the middle of when it comes out, but I might. This was actually all pretty useful, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know about your level of enjoyment on it, but you know, that's always sort of a roll of the dice when it comes to me doing videos. But I may just post this quicker, just so people can sort of see it and make a. And again, I don't know if you can really base a buying decision necessarily on the beta, but. You know, it might be useful for people just because, I think I pointed this out in my other videos, I have played every modern Fallout game, so I'm really the sort of built-in audience for this. And so based on my reactions to it, with that knowledge in mind, that might tell you that if this is something that you were, like if you weren't a Fallout person, and you've been sort of going back, and maybe you've never played one, but the idea of the online version was intriguing. You know, I don't know if you want money, I'll take it. I don't know whether this benefits that type of person. If you're a Fallout fan who's been apprehensive about this game, that's probably the person who's best served by this video, is somebody who's going, I don't really know about this, but I've liked the Fallout games, will I like this? So that's, I know a lot of people, they edit their videos heavily. One of the reasons I don't do that is because, I keep forgetting that. Oh, bobblehead, that's nice. In particular with mine, I mean, number one, it's just my way of talking. It would be tough for me to edit necessarily what I was... Is that like a truck? No, it's not. Obviously, I have a stream of consciousness approach to everything. You can tell that I think rather quickly. But if I edit it very heavily, I don't know that the... It's kind of a nice tab logo to have my finishing thoughts on here. You know, I don't know who would benefit from this video, but if you're a Fallout person, which I am, watching this playthrough, this is, I think, to see it from the beginning of my playthrough straight to the end. There's been no editing in here, and I will not edit this. So you can see this is about 40 minutes or an hour, or whatever this has been, of a session where I'm playing this, and I don't expect this to be drastically different once the full game is out. So this is sort of your snapshot of what this game, at a base level, I'm a level 10, so I've been playing it for a little while, but obviously I'm not at the top level. This should be sort of a good snapshot of it, and maybe that will help some people to make that decision. Because, you know, reviews are reviews, and you can't really... Reviews are tough to go by sometimes because you don't know what the audience is. You don't know who's doing the review, that type of thing. So I've played Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, and enjoyed every one of those games. Mostly on PC, but I did play Fallout 3 on the PS4 like I'm playing this game. This is PS4. So... You know, whether this will be something that you pick up, if you were... Is that really a super mutant shooting at me? I'm just going to go into hiding for a minute. I'll still look out over this lovely scenery. I mean, it's a beautiful game, so far from what I've seen. It runs fine in the beta. So it's an interesting experiment, and I don't know whether that experiment will appeal to everyone, but this... I will keep playing it. I'm not sorry I pre-ordered it. I think I said this in my last video. I'm not sorry I pre-ordered it. Normally I don't pre-order a lot of games, but with Fallout I'm sort of, as I said, I'm the built-in audience. So I knew I was getting this game. And I have not had a regret of that. I still just feel, for me, like I'm trying to adjust to what this Fallout game wants to be. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. If anything, that's good. You don't want to just play the same game over and over. Otherwise, you're basically playing Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed, which can be fun, but you know exactly what you're getting. This does have the one thing I can absolutely say without hesitation about this, is this game is not just another Fallout game. They are trying something. And I'm about to die probably because I'm not looking behind me, and that's the samurai will tell you, don't ever have your back to a door. So I don't know. It's something different. And depending on how much different you want in your Fallout, this could be really good. On the other hand, I think some people are going to struggle with this being Fallout. I don't know if this will be Fallout going forward. I don't think so. Bethesda's been very specific on their wording on saying this is something different. But it's certainly an interesting way to take the series, and it will be the support post-launch. It will be the growth of this world, the support of this world, and partially how much people embrace it that will decide whether this is a success or a failure. So I'd be curious, for those of you who've been playing the beta or haven't been, what does this video make you think about Fallout in this context? I'll be curious. Anyway, probably a good time to draw to a close since I'm probably about to die, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right.